What's up, my crew members? My name is Andrew. I am here with Rob.
Hello.
And welcome to another episode of the SuperHeroCrew podcast, the one, the only podcast on this channel where we talk about random stuff going on and X-Men and stuff and all that good stuff.
Wait a second. I thought Coach was going to be on here.
What, are you out of your mind? He always makes an excuse to not come on.
That guy.
I know.
We miss him.
Do we?
Oh. So what's happening this week? Is there news this time?
Well, there is some news. We could start off with there's like little bit of news. It's really not too much, but and by the way, people listening, I will have the podcast or the in the description of the podcast. I will have the articles that we talk about linked there so that you can check it out and look at what we are also looking at. So it's not too confusing. But anyway, so first things first, Ant-Man is coming back with a new series. Do we really care?
Just a series?
Yeah.
Which Ant-Man is it?
Scott Lang.
Oh, okay. They can't do
Not,
Pym anymore, eh?
No, not Wife Beater.
Yeah, the moment one little thing. That's the one thing that stuck. Like nothing sticks
I
to
know.
anybody, but that stuck for him.
And he like demolished his wife in the Ultimate Universe too. Like that was bad.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's just funny that's for some reason Pym he gets the short end of the stick. If we ever get Jack on, Jack will rant against that. Pym was always one of his favorites.
We gotta have Jack on then to talk about some Alpha Flight.
Yes, he's a big Alpha Flight fan, but he's a big Avengers fan from back in the day. When I was X-Men, he was Avengers. It was just what it was.
Mm.
But that's classic Avengers. And
yeah.
Poor
Hank.
Hank.
But this is written by Zeb Wells and art by Dylan Burnett. I've heard Zeb Wells before.
Yeah, he did.
I feel like I might have read.
Yeah, he did some of the comic, like comedian kind of stuff. He's a funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
He might have even done some Deadpool back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Well, that fits with, it fits with,
Scott Lang's feel.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to get at. But yeah, I mean he's done some stuff. Oh, this is great. I think he's done some stuff for Shadowland.
Oh yeah.
The best, probably one of the best events I've ever read.
There you go.
No, it's not. It's horrible. He's written Savage Wolverine, which I just picked up in the trade, Avenging Spider-Man / Savage Wolverine. That's where I heard him from, because I picked up the trade, and that's something he did.
Well, that's funny. So
and I could see how it is.
You picked it up, and now he's coming out.
Exactly. When I read it in the next 10 years, I will know.
Oh, he's a robot chicken writer. That's where I know him from too.
Ah, okay. So he's, like you said, he's a comedic writer. But and also the interesting thing is that Scott Lang's daughter, Cassie Lang, is going to be here as Stinger. So she's going to be teaming up with it. See, here's the thing. I don't know. I haven't had that good of a I guess reading experience with the Ant-Man mythos, because I read Unstoppable Wasp, which was Hank Pym's daughter from not Janet, from some other woman, and it was horrible. And then I read Ant-Man and the Wasp, where she teamed up with Scott Lang. I didn't think it was horrible. It just wasn't the best. So, I don't know. I mean, it's Ant-Man. Who the hell cares about Ant-Man?
I just looked up the artist. I recognized his name. He did the latest X-Force comic before the current one. And I remember the art, at first I was like, what the hell is going on? It was like really weird. And by the end I was like, oh, this is fun, very dynamic, and so he's got a real dynamism to his art. Like, it's, when you first look at it, you're like, ooh, this is not good, but you realize, no, he's actually doing something with it. It's not that he doesn't understand like proportions and stuff. He's just stretching people out, and yeah, he's a pretty interesting artist. So that's a neat combination, those two. But I don't care about Ant-Man, but
I don't really care either. I mean, but it is a number one. That means we have to get it. If Coach was on, his insight would be that it's a number one and we have to get it.
Well, this could be also one of those sleeper books too that ends up being really, really good. So
yeah,
it'd be good to check out the first one.
Or it could be one of those books that is really good but nobody buys it, and then it becomes 5-issue miniseries.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I could see that for sure. Unlike all the X-Men
possibly. Yeah. Well, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna move on because it's Ant-Man. Let's just move on. So apparently, now one of my favorite characters has always been Wolverine, and I'm debating whether or not to get. I was debating whether or not to get the Wolverine #1 that's coming out in February, I think. Mm-hmm. His new ongoing series, but then it's going to be a part of Dawn of X, like the whole Dawn of X thing, and there's a new article by CBR.com that it's going to be an oversized issue featuring 2 separate stories.
Yeah. That whole 2 separate stories thing, I don't usually see the point.
Yeah. There really is no point in doing that. And I hate when they do that. Like, it's annoying as hell. Like, just, if you're going to make it an oversized issue, have a single story. Please do that. You know?
Yeah, it sounds like it says the one is a crime adventure mystery story that wrestles with my memory and identity, and the other one is a horror adventure story that tackles questions about history and the toll, responsibility, and mortality. Sounds like the second story is going to take place in the past, just as a backup, kind of almost. We'll see. Like, obviously, we're both going to get this, I think, right? It's Wolverine.
I have to get it just because it's Wolverine, and I really like Wolverine, but I don't know. I don't know about this, you know? Maya's going crazy. My dog Maya is going crazy.
She doesn't want to get it either.
I know. She's telling that's a sign that's telling me not to get it, but I will probably get it.
And it's written by the same guy who's writing X-Force, so the current X-Force.
Oh, speaking of which, how was X-Force?
Want me to talk about X-Force first, since we just segued into it?
Yes, it's a perfect segue.
Sure. Yeah, it's Benjamin Percy is writing it. And the artist looks like Joshua Cassara. Never heard of him. The art's actually really, really good. Like, it's almost like a painted style. It looks really nice. The story, it was weird, but it's a setup issue. It's really setting up, like, the whole thing they advertise as the CIA kind of the X-Men. But this whole issue is just pretty much them hanging out, and then they get attacked. And I don't know if you wanted spoilers. Do you want to do some spoilers for the end?
Let's just spoilers. We're gonna be spoiling New Mutants, and I'm sure we're gonna be spoiling that, and X-Force. So if you have not read it and you want to, get the hell out of here and then come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna, I guess, spoil it. I mean, I don't care because I'm not reading it, but people that do care, leave and then come back.
So pretty much, it's a. Some kind of, we don't know who they are yet, but some kind of team has attacked Krakoa, and they kind of jumped in and started killing people, which who cares if they're killing people, right? Because the X-Men are immortal now. But at the very end, they shoot Professor X right in the head, and he's supposed...
Nice.
So is he dead? We don't know.
No.
But there was some weird stuff earlier with Professor X. He got drugged, I think, and maybe it was an imposter. Who knows? We're going to find out what happened here. But yeah, he gets shot right through his X in his helmet. So that's the big reveal on that one. But it was a fun story. It was it kind of showed what was happening on Krakoa as behind the scenes, not just the party scene. Because every time you see Krakoa lately, it's just been a big party. But Black Tom Cassidy is he's an old villain. He's since he could commune with plants and stuff, he could control wood. He is kind of like the security force. He monitors everything around the area, and he has spores in the air, so they could feel these guys coming. But so it got like it shows their security of the island, kind of. It was kind of fun. And yeah, it still doesn't answer a lot of questions. It's written much better than the Hickman stuff. Once again, it had a lot of fun. It still has those pages though, the Hickman pages, where you have like just a page of text every once in a while, which is sort of annoying. I think the allure of that is worn off.
The Krakoan database or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah. So they've been putting throws through all the books, which is kind of like, okay, fine. Usually, whatever. It should be at the back of the book or somewhere else. It doesn't need to be halfway through the story so it interrupts your reading. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with X-Force. It wasn't as bad as I expected. And it actually has a story, which I like. There's actual storyline in. There's stakes. Something happened. Unlike pretty much the Hickman books. So that was fun. So far X-Force is good. I that's one I wasn't sure about, but it's fun so far because it actually is progressing the story, which I like.
All right, so let's just do a recap before we talk about New Mutants. Okay, so X-Men number 1.
Horrible.
That's horrible. Okay,
that was the worst one by far.
Then we have shit. What was next?
Excalibur.
Excalibur.
Was
Excalibur.
It was kind of very yeah. Excalibur.
So is that a yay or a nay for Excalibur?
If it's a yay or a nay, I would say a nay. Whatever those was.
Okay. So then we have I don't even know what else is next. What else do we have?
We missed Marauders. Marauders was great.
Marauders. Okay, so that's that. So that's a yay on Marauders.
Yeah, and then it's New Mutants and X-Force. That's the story.
So X-Force, yay or nay?
Yeah, it's a yay. It was good.
So that's 2 and 2 on X-Men books.
Yep.
New Mutants.
Yeah, we got to New Mutants now. So you dashed all my hopes telling me it was written by Jonathan Hickman.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not written by Jonathan Hickman.
What?
It's written by Jonathan Hickman and Ed Brisson. We know Ed Brisson's a great writer. So you could tell the Jonathan Hickman parts. All of a sudden it'd be something stupid and you're like, oh, that doesn't feel like the same story. And that was, you could see that in here. But the most of it's written by Ed Brisson, you could tell. And it was really, you got all the characters and they're all interacting, all the classic New Mutants together. And the art was, it's by Rod Reyes. Never heard of him before, I don't think. It looks great. It reminds me of Phil Noto's art. Mm-hmm. Once again, great art. They've been killing it with the art on all these series, but this one, I think New Mutants might be my favorite art so far.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty fun. It was really just fun. Like it doesn't have anything to do with anything else. It's just the New Mutants who go into space to try to find Cannonball because he's off in space with his family. And they're like, hey, we should all be together. Let's go find him. And then they get into trouble. They get the Starjammers to fly them out to Shi'ar space, but the Starjammers, they don't like the Shi'ar and they get in fights all the time. So pretty much the Starjammers try to do a heist, and the New Mutants screw it up, and the Starjammers like, screw you, and they leave them there. So the New Mutants are about to get arrested by the Shi'ar at the end. And yeah, it was just fun. It was really funny and really well written because it was written by Ed Brisson. Except for the parts where, once again, there was insert pages where they had to have random explanations of things that don't matter. That's Hickman stuff. And yeah, there's on the island. I think the island stuff was definitely more Hickman. You could feel he had to like over-explain things. And then the moment they got into space, it was great. So I was hopeful for this book, and you almost killed my excitement, and then now I'm hopeful again.
So is that a yay or a nay?
Oh, it's a far yay. It's the second best behind Marauders. This is the second best so far.
All right, so that's 2 nays and 3 yays.
And one of the nays, the Excalibur isn't bad. It's just kind of It's dealing with magic and stuff that shouldn't be with the X-Men, so it's kind of...
Yeah.
X-Men is horrible, and if it doesn't get better, I'm going to be very sad. X-Men number 2 comes out next week, though, so it's already coming out. So we'll get to know that before we even get to see some of the others.
Jesus. And Fallen Angels is next, or this week.
Yeah, sorry, this week coming out, yep.
So...
is it? No, it isn't.
What?
Oh, yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Yes,
it is, yeah, this week.
Yep.
They're coming out.
And then, so we're only missing... That's it, then. That'll be the last one. Yeah, that's all of them.
Yeah, until next year.
So I'm guessing this week is going to be horrible because Fallen Angels doesn't look good at all. It doesn't have any characters I really like in it. And X-Men has been crap. So unless we get an actual story in X-Men, we'll see. I wonder if it's going to even... X-Force really was like... That seems like the main book. Like, that's where things happen. So I wonder if X-Men's going to tie into that, or is it going to be just a totally separate story?
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting that X-Force is the main book, not written by Hickman. And that's the one that's actually progressing the story, it seems like. So
yeah.
So that is the question. But
I don't even know.
The art was... You got to just look at the art in X-Force and New Mutants.
Yeah.
Both of them. Really great art. Like, and I guess they've had there hasn't been any bad art though in this whole reboot. I think they realized, hey, X-Men needs good art. Don't put some crappy artists on the X-Men anymore. That's how they built their name back in the 90s with Jim Lee and stuff. So it seems like they're even if they don't get the artist 100% right, at least the art looks nice. I would think Excalibur was the worst art, and that wasn't that bad. It was better than average, I'd say.
Yeah.
So there you go. X-Men. It's not night. It's like a 60% good. That's not bad.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, you know, they're really oversaturating it.
Yeah, but they should let you know that you don't have to read New Mutants. That doesn't seem to matter at all. X-Force you have to read. X-Men probably you have to read. And what else is there? What was the other ones? Marauders, that could be important. That seems to be where it's going to, like Kitty, the whole reason why Kitty can't go to the island and stuff, I think that's going to be important. But, yeah, definitely if you don't want to read, you should read New Mutants, but you don't have to read New Mutants. If anything, you should read New Mutants and not the rest of it, so... New Mutants and Marauders are the ones, if anybody's looking for comic books that are just fun, I would read those. Marauders, you have to know a little bit more, but New Mutants, pretty much you have to know that the New Mutants just want to go find their buddy. I don't know why Cannonball's out in space. I assume it happened in Avengers or something. Because him and Sunspot were on the Avengers for a while, weren't they?
I think he was in the U.S. Avengers, which isn't a team anymore, I don't think.
So, for some reason, he's in space. I don't know why. He said he's in space with his family. And in Shi'ar space. So, I don't know. I don't know why that is, but there you go. Yeah. New Mutants, I think it'll be really fun. Collected in a trade. And once again, hopefully it ends up being like a 6-issue miniseries that they just go find him and come home.
Oh, trust me, I highly doubt that. I
it
mean,
won't be.
the one that I seems like a miniseries would be like Fallen Angels. That's what it would seem like it would be a miniseries, but I guess not. I mean, unless it gets canceled, but as of right now, I don't think that Fallen Angels is a miniseries. I don't think any of them are a miniseries.
No, they're not. None of them are.
And we were talking about how I think I might have mentioned this, how, like, you know, they're we've talked about how they're oversaturating the X-Men 100%.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if I mentioned how, like, I'm worried if that's what they're going to do with Conan. Did I mention that?
Yeah, we did.
I did mention that. But what I like is, and what it seems like that they're doing, I'm going to double check really quick right now, but while I'm looking, what it seems like they're doing with Conan is we had, at the beginning of this year, we had the Conan the Barbarian series, right? Savage Sword of Conan, and then Age of Conan Belit. Okay? Those were the 3 Conan the Barbarian books going on, all right, at the same time, and they're still going on right now. But what it seems like to me is that Conan possibly after issue 12 is over.
Is it no longer solicited?
I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, could be.
So the same thing with Savage Sword of Conan. That's the other thing too.
Yeah, we discussed
Savage
it.
Sword of Conan.
You think that the Serpent War or whatever is going to be the next, in between the next series kind of thing?
Yeah, I think that's going to lead into Battle for the Serpent Crown.
Yeah.
So that would technically mean by next year there will only be 1, possibly 2, if they do another Age of Conan miniseries. That would mean that there would only be 1 or 2 Conan series, right?
Plus the Savage stuff. The future.
Well, no. Well, Savage, I think, is also ending because there's nothing solicited for issue issue 13.
The Savage either. Avengers stuff, the stuff in the present time.
Oh yeah, well yeah. But I'm saying strictly Conan books.
Yeah,
I
classic.
don't think. Yeah, I don't think that. They're doing that, which gives me hope because they're not oversaturating Conan.
Yeah,
I feel like they should have done something like this for that.
Well, we've said it many times when X-Men, when that March comes out, or February, when Wolverine comes out, the second wave or whatever, that some of the first wave should end and the second wave start. They shouldn't have 20 different X-Men books. They will because it's making tons of money. They're number 1 in the sales charts. I think even Excalibur was number 12 of the second week, and that's saying a lot. So, they're all selling well. That's the problem. If there was something that wasn't selling well, they'd drop it. They'd turn it into a miniseries or whatever. But
yeah,
as long as it's making money for Marvel, they don't care if they saturate the market. Obviously, look at what they do with all the other comic books. Look at how many comic books they put out a month. They don't care if they saturate the market.
Yeah.
They don't care if people drop off because they know that there's going to be just enough to keep them going, and they make most of their money off the movies now anyway. So.
Mm-hmm.
And they're owned by Disney, so they don't really have to make too much money.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see. It's a bad business plan, I think. It's very short-sighted. You're getting tons of money now, but you're killing people reading your books. Forcing people to go to things like Image or not so much DC, because they're not much better, but some of the other independent books,
Mm-hmm.
Or forcing people to go to trades, too, because you just can't afford to read that many comic books a month.
Yeah. It's just I think we said that there's going to be about 9 books going on at the same time that are strictly just X-Men by the time I think Wolverine comes out.
Well, the Fantastic Four one, and there's tons of books coming out.
Which is ridiculous. I forgot about the Fantastic Four one. And the stupid Fantastic Four one.
And the one that it's a bunch of one-shots. What was it called? Giant Size.
Oh, Giant Size X-Men.
Yeah, it's going to be too much. And I'd be surprised if they don't put an Odin in Uncanny X-Men. Restart that as a second X-Men.
But why? What's the point? Doing an X-Men and an Uncanny X-Men.
I don't know why they didn't call this one Uncanny. They should have just kept up with a name instead of just X-Men, but X-Men's always been the secondary book to Uncanny, right? So I don't know why they decided just to call it X-Men.
Yeah.
Or they'll just rename it Uncanny halfway through the run, just to be annoying. Just to confuse more people. Renumber it number 1.
I see them doing that. Yeah. God. It's ridiculous. And Rob, do you want to just quickly mention what that article about the X-Men delays is something?
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. The which book was it? X-Men number 4 to 6 are pushed back. So it was supposed to be bi-week or bi-monthly, but starting in January, all the comic books are getting pushed back. I assume it's because the artist can't do it that fast, or maybe it's for storyline reasons, maybe to line everything up. But it's not twice monthly, I guess. It's a good thing actually, because they're getting pushed back to pretty much being monthly instead of twice a month. So, but it did say that for some reason X-Men number 4 is a totally different story than originally solicited. So that's kind of weird that they've changed.
What?
They've changed X-Men number 4's story completely. I don't know if they just inserted a story and 4 became 5 kind of thing. They pushed it back that way. Mm-hmm. That could be it. That they have to. It's a filler issue, maybe.
Yeah.
Because the artists, once again, I said they're really good artists, but really good artists take time, right? So it could be that they're getting behind on the schedule. They're no Jack Kirby. That's all I'm saying. Did like 40 books a month and didn't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it ends up being a good thing. I won't have to read 8,000 X-Men comic books that aren't very good twice a month. So. Well, maybe by then they'll find their feet, or Hickman will be like, I'm bored now. I'm going back to my independent, like the Image stuff, and I don't want to write for Marvel anymore. And they'll get Ed Brisson and good writers. What's his name? Matthew Rosenberg would be nice to get back, or Tom Taylor. Some of those guys. They were great writers, and they just never got the chance because they knew this was coming. They kind of just threw those guys under a bus. And I'm glad to see Brisson's back. Like, it's nice to see that they didn't just get rid of him.
Yeah.
Gail Simone. Like, there's so many good writers that just got screwed from this reboot.
Yeah.
I know you just picked up the Domino trade. You were asking me about it. That's a great trade, so...
Yes, I did. And the good thing, you know what I do have to say, though, I'm kind of happy that I'm probably going to get Volume 2 and then the Domino Hot Shots trade, just so I can have it all and then just read it completely through the whole series and the whole, 9 yards, you know what I mean? Because, it was right before the reboot, so it's not like I have to get like 7 volumes of Domino to read, it's just a short...
It is one whole story too. It really is like different storyline, but it's one whole group of stories that come together, and at the end, it really what they start at the beginning, it really ties in at the end. It all kind of wraps itself up in a bow, and the art at the beginning of that series is great. David Baldion, and by the end, he's only doing parts of it. He does like the first part and the last part kind of thing. And another writer is in the middle, or other artist. And like I say, the other artist is good, but compared to Baldion, he doesn't look great. But it's just because Baldion is so good. Like, he gets the expressions on all those characters amazing. And Gail Simone, she's just a great writer. So especially for quirky characters like Domino.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that a book about Domino, of all people, is... like good,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, like that's all down to the writer. Like, Domino shouldn't be a good character to read. She's kind of boring. She's kind of she has luck powers, and that's about it. But she writes her so well as like a real person. Like, you'll like it because it'd probably be like Spider-Gwen. I think you'll find it'd be like similar idea where it's a real person and real things happen to her, and she has bad days and she has good days, and it shows.
You know what? That's the key. That's really the key with writing, not just female characters, but any character. You know what I mean? Like, I've mentioned this before about how Spider-Gwen. The reason why I like her is because, like you said, she has good days and bad days. She gets the shit kicked out of her one day, but then she's dealing with this the other day. I'm happy to hear that that's how Domino is, and now I'm really excited to actually read it.
Yeah, she's like a real person. Like, she'll get depressed, or she'll have fights with her friends and make up, and at one point she tries to hit on Shang-Chi, which is hilarious. And but yeah, no, it's a really good series, and like you said, it's really good because it is contained, and it didn't go too long. It didn't change writers. It didn't lose its appeal. It was just a nice contained story. It kind of reminds me of the same idea with the Rogue and Gambit stories. That's more of a relationship comic book, but same idea where it's just, at least it's a contained set of stories. You can read it from that first miniseries through their regular series, and you get a great story. And trades of those will be really good to have, just because they are just good stories.
Yeah.
instead of X-Men, where you get a trade of X-Men, and generally you get it. Usually the trades are in like Inferno or one of those stories that are crossovers. But if you just get a set of X-Men, generally it's not like, oh, that was a good concise story. It's usually a continuation. It's a soap opera, where these are more little like HBO kind of series, where it's just 12 issues and they're 12 episodes and done kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh my god, my dog just ripped ass. Oh my god, and she's all the way upstairs. Like, she's upstairs in the hallway, and I could smell it from down here.
She's a machine.
Holy shit, that's bad. Oh, I was like doing a double take. I was like, is that like, am I smelling something? I don't know. Anyway,
has something died under my desk?
So, X-Men. I mean, so far, it's really like not half and half anymore. It's kind of.
But next week with Fallen Angels, I have a feeling it's going to get back to half and half.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. You could love it.
X-Force surprised me how good it was. So.
Yeah.
But problem is Fallen Angels is what it's Kwannon, who's now Psylocke, and Kid Cable. He's fine, but he's not a main character. And what is it, Wolverine? I can't remember who the third character is. Or actually, maybe Domino. Now that I think about it. So we'll see. We'll see how it is.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember who that's written by. So I think that's the important thing. You got to get good writers. It's probably written by Hickman. But so far it's been Hickman and somebody else. So hopefully that continues. I'm just going to look up who it's written by. Because it'll determine if I'm excited or not. I don't think I'm excited no matter what. But Brian Edward Hill. Yeah, we don't know who that is. So... And
yeah,
it is.
I have no idea.
Oh, it's X-23. That's who it is. X-23, Kid Cable, and Psylocke. It's good. X-23's back. I kind of missed her. She's been gone for a long time. So.
Well. Anyway, so I mean that's the X-Men garbage. At least, well, I at least think it's garbage. Any last words on the X-Men stuff?
No. I will let everybody know next week how it went and if I'll be crying this week.
Yeah. But anyway, that's pretty much like all the stuff from this week. Oh, actually, we could talk about. Let's talk about before we talk about the stuff that's coming out next week that we're getting.
Yeah, we got to
talk about the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, from this week. Rob, would you like to go first?
Sure. Well, I'll save the one for last that I read that I know you'll want to talk about. But I got around to reading the Chrononauts 4-issue miniseries, and it was fun. Mm-hmm. It was some hijinks. It was pretty funny. It's kind of like a comedy time travel kind of thing with some ultra violence because it's Mark Millar. So it was good. And Die came out by Kieran Gillen. That one that's about role-playing games. And it's confusing as hell, but it's still fun. What else came out? Transformers 14. I think the story's progressing a little bit more in that one, which is nice.
There was probably the most action in that.
Yeah, that's right. There was an action scene where they're trying to get some of the bad guys out of a fort, pretty much. And yeah, I liked. Was it Soundwave? Yeah, it was Soundwave that went in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like they pretty much they're not called Decepticons yet, but the Decepticons are part of the government and stuff, but nobody knows they're bad guys. So everybody thought Soundwave was going in to negotiate, and he pretty much found out what the guys in this bunker knew, and when they knew too much, he just killed them all. It was pretty funny.
Did you see the cover for next?
No, I haven't seen any.
The next issue, it's the cover is just Shockwave's face.
Cool.
So it looks pretty badass.
Old Man Quill. It's this penultimate issue, and the whole time he's been trying to get the Ultimate Nullifier to stop Galactus, and Doom pretty much grabs him in the Wastelands. It's a Doom bot. I don't think it's actually Doom. And he destroys the Ultimate Nullifier after he works so hard to get it. And he's like, oh, well, we're screwed. Galactus is going to kill us all now. Thanks a lot. You just screwed your whole world up. It was pretty funny. So Galactus is coming. And what else did I read? 2000 AD is always great. Judge Dredd. And lastly, because Andrew made me read it, Absolute Carnage Weapon Plus.
Oh, you did get it!
It was, that was something.
Oh, I'm so happy you got it, because now we can talk about it.
Ugh.
Okay, so, Rob, are you so happy that you got an Absolute Carnage tie-in?
It was a prequel, I guess. It said that it takes place before Absolute Carnage, so at least I didn't have to know what was going on.
Exactly.
But I still didn't know what the Hulk Vereen was doing. I guess he was trying to hide his family.
Okay. What the fuck was with that dragon?
Oh yeah, I guess all the symbiotes are come from a dragon. It seems.
Is that what that was?
That's kind of what they implied. That
I thought it was like that. That's what the weapon plus. I don't even know what the hell this was.
No, I think that's what Weapon V or whatever the Venom one. That's where they got the symbiote blood. It was from that dragon for some reason. Is that the god that Carnage keeps talking about? He wants to bring back. Is it the dragon?
No, the god is Null. I think, unless there's another god, but
I don't know.
The god is Null. I think.
I didn't really know what was going on either. So all I know is that the Wolverine Hulk guy kept beating up people, and it was kind of fun that way because it was pretty much just the Hulk, and then he never really used the claws, so it could have been just the Hulk.
Yeah. And
some of his old army buddies tricked him into helping him, and then he was just like, "Fuck you guys," and left, and let Carnage kill them all. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Once he found out his mother-in-law was safe. Was his mother-in-law like very stereotypical, or was she doing it on purpose? Because if she was stereotypical, it was offensive. She was like a stereotypical Asian mother-in-law who just hated her white son-in-law. Was she just playing it up? Yeah.
No, I think it was. I
was just offensive. Like, oh my god, this is pretty offensive.
Oh no. But yeah, it was kind of. It was not good.
And there was a lot of like trying to explain Weapon Plus again. It's like you already did that once. You don't have to do it again.
But we're getting the next one is Weapon Plus World War IV.
And who's on the cover?
Man-Thing with miniguns.
In a Vietnam helmet. Like he looks like he's in Vietnam.
That cover is so dumb, I love it.
It looks ridiculous. I was like, what is this? Yeah, so that was Weapon Plus. Strangely, right now on my desktop, I have random comic book covers, and I have the original Weapon X from Marvel Comics Presents on the cover. It just popped up. What a coincidence. And I'm looking at it and going, I remember when Weapon X was fun. It didn't have these stupid Hulk Vereens and Venom and Man-Thing.
He's Weapon H.
Yeah.
But so does this mean that you're going to get the next Weapon Plus one-shot, Rob?
I might, just because it is so stupid that... At least that one won't be Carnage. It was the whole Carnage part. I'm like, I don't understand what this is. Like, Carnage went... I hate that character. And he seems like he's insane, like a serial killer when he's in human form, but when he's in Carnage form, he's like trying to be like a messenger for his god or something. I'm like, these two things don't work together. I didn't like...
The weird thing is how many like this one and the Ghost Rider one-shot tie-in both take place before Absolute Carnage #1, but they were like on completely different sides of the world almost, I think, if I remember correctly.
so like Carnage teleported?
Yeah, like how the hell did Carnage get from one side of the world to the other?
And especially since he's just some serial killer guy, like they showed him at some truck stop killing people. Like it's not like he's got superpowers that he could fly or anything.
Yeah.
And he seems like he's pretty immortal now. They use fire and sound on him and it didn't even affect him.
Oh yeah, he's basically immortal. You cannot beat him. How are they going to do it? Exactly.
Well, I'm sure Venom will do it.
But let's talk about some things that aren't bad. And that's all you got, right?
Yeah, that was my last of my ones, yeah.
Okay. So, I'm looking at the list. All right, well, Amazing Spider-Man 33 came out this week, last week, because this is coming out on Monday. So this is the books from last week, technically, but we're filming it. Anyway, so ASM 33. Here's the thing. I read 32. 33 came out this week. It's just okay. I mean, it's all right. That's all I have to say about it. And the only reason why I'm reading it is just for the 2099 stuff. Because
did they
I want to
explain it anymore? Did it like go in with the main story at all, or is it just the backup?
Literally, Miguel O'Hara's like, I need to find Peter, and then he just that's literally all that happened. And then there's something about Doom that's going on.
That has nothing to do with it, though, right?
Wait, what? The
2099 stuff and the main story have nothing to do with each other?
No, I think this is the main story.
Is it?
I think.
Did you say the last issue had some... Yeah.
Even though there's an Alpha and an Omega issue coming out. So it's weird.
Usually the Alpha's first, yeah. Set up the story.
But
so this is like a prequel, really.
I guess, because I'm looking at the checklist. Technically, this, I was looking, and technically the last issue 32, wasn't, like, a thing that you needed to read. It's not even on the checklist. But I got it anyway because it says 2099, and you kind of had to read the last issue to know what was going on anyway. But then the next issue that's coming out is 2099 Alpha, I believe. I don't know when that's coming out. That's coming out sometime this month. Is it coming out next week? I don't know if it is. I'll look when I look at the knit list for next week. But there's the Alpha issue, then all the one-shots, basically. And then we're going from ASM 32 to ASM 36. That'll be the last issue of 2099 stuff.
So all those ones in the middle don't matter?
I don't know.
Are you going to read
them anyway. I'm getting every single one-shot.
But the Amazing Spider-Man, there's like 3 issues in the middle that aren't part of it?
Oh, no. It's
they're
from
part of it?
issue
Okay.
32.
Okay.
It's from issue 32 to 36, yeah.
I thought you just meant 32 and 36, but yeah. Okay.
No.
That makes sense then.
Yeah. And it's something with Doom. Apparently, like, Silver Sable is, like, burnt up. And, like, there was a robot that they destroyed. And then, like...
You sound like you're, like, a 3-year-old telling a story. There was a girl, and then there was a robot, and they fought.
And then then the Chameleon hires somebody to assassinate Dr. Doom.
Well, that's not going to go well.
Yeah, that's not going to go well. Speaking of Doom, his issue 2 came out this. I'm just going to not even talk about the rest. It's not the best, and like I thought 32 was okay, but like 33 is just it was kind of just weird and dumb, and I have no idea what the hell's going on, but I don't really care. Or at least right now, until the main 2099 plot starts. That's when
I hope all that Silver Sable stuff has nothing to do with the 29 part.
Oh, without a doubt, it has nothing to do with it because they literally just ended that arc. Silver Sable was like, I need the Infinity Formula so that I can heal myself because I'm burnt up. And it's and Spider-Man's like, then he leaves. But anyway, yeah, he's like, I'm out. Yeah. Dr. Doom #2 came out this week. Solid book. It's great. Nothing more to say. Ghost Rider 2 came out this week. Great also. I'm going to spoil this issue, by the way. So if you haven't read it and you want to, go read it and come back. But in this issue, they killed Danny Ketch.
Again?
Yeah, right? That's what I said. But I doubt he's actually dead.
He just gone to hell and he'll come back?
Pretty much.
Was he the main character, or was it the other guy?
Yeah, they were both kind of the main character.
Was it Johnny Blaze or the new one?
No, Robbie Reyes. It's Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch.
No Robbie. What happened to him? They just got rid of him?
He's with the Avengers now.
Oh, okay, so there's 3 Ghost Riders running around currently. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, technically there was more because there was another one in the Absolute Carnage tie-in that was a woman who was protecting a village.
And there's Cosmic Ghost Rider too.
Yes, and that's 5 Ghost Riders. Well, 4 because they killed the girl Ghost Rider.
Oh, at least
so 4 Ghost Riders altogether.
Does Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch both turn into Ghost Rider? Like their head bursts into flames and everything?
Yeah, they were fighting.
Wow. I thought it was... Isn't it just one demon? How is he in 5 different people?
Whoa, Rob. You're asking too much. Okay. But if you don't see, you're pulling the strings, and it's making me rethink whether or not to get issue 3. But
you got to find out if he's dead. You got to get the new one.
I know, but I like it so far.
As long as it's well written, it just doesn't seem to make sense.
Well, I mean, when you think about when you think about the different spirits of vengeance and stuff, it doesn't make sense. But I mean, it's written by Ed Brisson, so
there you go.
I mean,
he's the man.
Bad.
He can make anything good. So
exactly. Daredevil 13. All I have to say is that book of the year.
I've never heard you mention this before. You think it's really good, eh?
It's book of the year.
Yeah, really?
It's book of the year.
If you only mentioned it every single podcast and every single video you ever did.
I know, because it's book of the year. Rob, get it in trade.
Where can I buy that trade?
Yes. Jesus Christ, I love this fucking book.
That's good.
Every single issue is a 9 out of 10. It's great. That's all I'm saying. Go read it if you're not already. Savage Avengers number 7. It's kind of just a setup so that next issue we can see Conan and Doom fight. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's good.
What else? I think that was it. Yeah, Transformers, I read that. That was good, because things are going on. I read the Future Fight first, Crescent and EO. It's horrible. I couldn't even get through it. The only good one was White Fox.
Well, she's in Domino Hotshots, so you should like it.
What else? And then Legion of Superheroes number 1.
Oh, yeah. I heard you did a video about this.
I did do a video about this. You can go check out the video if you haven't already, people watching. Basically, it was dumb, and I have no interest in reading the rest.
So it's a general Bendis book.
Pretty much. But I said it in the video, how it's the least stinkiest shit in the whole pile of shit.
So it's faint praise.
Yeah, it's like, it's not the worst. It's just, it's okay. It's probably, like I said, it's the best Bendis book, best DC Bendis book, because all the other Bendis DC books are horrible. So, I mean, there's actually they're setting up a story at least, but it was just dumb. And I really like the Legion of Superheroes. I grew up with the cartoon show.
Yeah.
I really liked that cartoon. I got to rewatch it. And, yeah, I'm just disappointed with it. It kind of sucks. But anyway, that's the stuff from last week. Mm-hmm. Rob, what are you getting this week?
I am getting 2000 AD, obviously. Transformers Galaxies number 3, which we just got number 2 weeks ago, so that's weird that that's coming out already.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see, but they always solicit it, and then it's delayed, so we'll see if it just doesn't come out.
Mm-hmm.
Fallen Angels number 1. Savage Sword of Conan, I don't read them, but I do get them, so eventually I'll read those all. X-Men number 2, and Robotech Remix number 2. That's it.
Oh, you read the first issue of that? The
yeah.
Robotech?
Yeah.
What did you think of that? Because I read that too.
It was weird.
I had no idea what's going on, and I don't care for it at all.
The first Robotech issue, I think it was a 12-issue book run that they just did at Titan. it kind of leads into this, and pretty much Dana Sterling comes back from the future to help save reality because there's some interdimensional stuff going on, and she gets stuck in the past, and then her future is changing because she's in the past. So like her parents aren't never got together, so they theoretically she should never been born because her parents they never fell in love, they never had kids, and they're still pretty antagonistic to each other. Some people have died that shouldn't have died, and she's pretty much babysitting her future best friend, and it's very weird, and she's trying to come to grips with it. So it's supposed to be confusing, I think, but it is very confusing. There's once again, I think it's some interdimensional or some force from another universe is coming to fight them, and very odd. So we'll see. I'm giving it another couple issues. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
It's if the story started making sense, I would be much happier.
Yeah, I didn't care for it at all. It was kind of like G.I. Joe. I didn't really care for it, you know. That
G.I. Joe #1 is the worst comic book I've read all year. So.
Ooh, that's a bold statement there.
That's easily,
which I agree with.
Yeah, easily the worst. I'd read a whole series of Weapon Plus before I'd read a single issue of that new G.I. Joe series. I love G.I. Joe. I love G.I. Joe, and that was an affront to everything G.I. Joe. It's like at least the Transformers, they rebooted. It's a totally different reality. At least the characters are still themselves.
Yeah.
In this, the characters are all G.I. Joe, like totally different characters, even though they have the same names, some of them. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And they killed Duke in the very first issue just to be cool, I guess. It's like, we're playing for keeps, and then they introduce all these new characters that you're like, yeah, usually when G.I. Joe introduces new characters, you get new action figures, but it isn't the 80s anymore, people.
Yeah. Oh, man. And that's all you're getting next week?
Yeah,
this week?
Pretty short list, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a short list like last week for me as well. Detective Comics 1015, Mrs. Freeze is a thing. I hope that they just kill Mr. Freeze and then Mrs. Freeze, because basically Lex Luthor went to Mr. Freeze and was like, hey, I can save Nora. And now she's Mrs. Freeze. That's what's going on.
Marvel did this last year or the year before where all their villains became female. What is this obsession with turning all their villains female?
I don't know.
At least Marvel corrected it. Like Miss Sinister is no longer around that I know of, or female.
There was a Miss Sinister.
Yep, and there was a female Bullseye.
Yes, Lady Bullseye.
Yep, so a lot of these characters disappeared. So
yeah,
hopefully DC learns their lesson and was just like, why are we doing this?
Something I will not be getting, but I know this is a huge deal. I'm surprised you're not getting it, Rob. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl #50, the final issue.
Oh, I'm very upset that it's ending.
I know, you should be. Tales from the Dark Multiverse, Blackest Night is coming out. I love these Tales from the Dark Multiverse books. It's basically just What If, where this guy named Tempest Fuganot is the Watcher, and he's like, hey, I can look at different... he literally it's literally just What If. He's like, hey, what's up? I can look at different realities. Let's take a look at one of them. And then he just looks at that. It's exactly like What If.
Yeah, it's not. At least it's not trying to be something else.
Yeah. Saboteur to Conan 11. I'm getting that as well, which you're getting, but you're not reading it, which you should.
I will eventually. I gotta find time to read all my back issues.
Yeah.
Event Leviathan #6. You still reading it?
Nobody cares.
You're not reading it anymore?
No.
You gave up?
Yeah, after the first issue.
Oh, you didn't read after that? Yeah. I knew you did the review.
Yeah, I didn't bother.
Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, you're not reading that?
No.
Oh, really? It's probably...
Get your mind.
It's probably really fun.
Yeah, I doubt it. What I am getting, though, is Ronin Island #8, which I'm not reading, but Coach is. And I
don't even know what that is.
It's some samurai book that apparently is good.
Who made what company?
Boom.
Boom. I never read any Boom comics.
Yeah, me neither. I still don't, and I still get Ronin Island, and it's by Boom. I don't read it. Yeah. I don't even read it. Coach does. Black Panther and the Agents of Wakanda #3. I'm debating whether or not to get it. We'll see. Because the second issue kind of like ended a story arc already. Like the first 2 issues was a story arc, and that's it. So like if I don't get the third issue, it's not gonna. Yeah. Like that was like with Miles Morales. Like I had to really think about it. Like, oh god, should I get the next issue because I didn't get it? I'm like, should I get the next issue because issue 11 was like to be continued? You know, this is going on, and I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm not getting it. Age of Conan Valeria 4. That series sucks.
Mobius #1.
I don't know about that.
Oh, you're getting Punisher Soviet. You're excited about that one.
Oh, of course I am. I am hyped for Punisher Soviet #1. Garth Ennis, I finished that Nick Fury My War Gone By book that he did.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. Very raunchy and a lot of bad words in that. But it was really good. I'm really excited for Punisher Soviet, and it's Marvel, but they are calling it Max Comics.
Oh, yeah.
So they're not holding back.
They're bringing back the Max, eh?
They're bringing back the Max, which I'm happy about because they really needed to do this for Punisher. You know, and in a way, I'm kind of happy that the last Punisher series ended just to pave the way for this. But then again, I'm also upset because that last Punisher series was really good by Matthew Rosenberg. So,
who's drawing it? Is it Jason Burrows?
Yes.
He's got an interesting style. He used to do all the old... Alan Moore actually used to do the some of the Cthulhu stuff in like his really detailed art, like really good background, like really detailed, almost too detailed. But he's a really good artist, so that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really excited, and it's only going to be 6 issues. And I think I remember something that there will be like. There's going to be like a bunch of different miniseries that he's going to do. So after this one, he's going to come out with another miniseries that's like Max, and it's going to be Punisher, but written by Garth Ennis. So they're basically pulling a Hellboy, and they're doing what the Hellboy thing does, but for Punisher.
That's good, because I think that's the best way to do Punisher, especially with Garth Ennis. Don't put him on a book that he gets sick of it, but let him do his little stories and have it all done in the can, put it out, do another one.
Right.
Black Cat Annual #1 too.
Oh my god! And the best part about that is that it hasn't even been a year, and she's only 6 issues in. Isn't that great?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Fallen Angels Annual #1 next week.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's gonna come out like in about 2 months, I'd say.
I'm amazed they haven't done any X-Men annuals yet, so we'll see.
They're all at #1. and they haven't come out with an annual. This is ridiculous.
Not even solicited. I'm amazed.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. That's all I'm getting.
Yeah, it seems to be a light week.
This is what happens with me. I'm like, I say to myself, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure I'm reading a lot, like a lot more, different series and stuff. Oh wait, no, they're all at the end of the month.
Yeah, it just comes all at once. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that.
You'll like have 100 comics in 1 week.
Exactly. So like 1 week I'll have 4 books, and the next week I'll have 100.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it tends to happen.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with the X-Men is you get some every week. You don't have to worry about that. They spread them out.
Yeah.
But I used to read a lot more Image books. It seems to me that Image right now isn't much going on.
Yeah.
There used to be a lot of good stuff, and I'm reading that Die. That's the only thing I'm right now. Really, other than Marvel, there's not much other stuff. Mm-hmm. Whenever Dark Horse puts out a Hellboy thing, but that's pretty rare. And yeah, one or two comics here and there, but generally it's not much going on.
Yeah.
It's all X-Men.
Yeah. But I guess that's all the books.
Yeah.
Anything else to add, to talk about? Anything else that you can think of?
No, but you should mention some of the trades you just picked up. You got a nice haul, you were saying?
Oh, whoa. Hold on a second, Rob. You don't understand, okay? I got videos planned out for that,
you're going to show them all off then? Okay.
Exactly. I got to do different videos. But yes, guys, stay tuned for... I cannot help myself when it comes to getting graphic novels. I have a problem, and I added a third shelf, and I already have filled it up.
At least it's not full price. That's the key. If you're buying on full price, you'd have a problem. You're getting them so cheap.
That's the thing. My weakness are cheap graphic novels and cheap trade paperbacks. I cannot resist grabbing them for so cheap. But
it's good.
Yep. So, everybody, stay tuned definitely for when I do those videos. There's going to be a good amount of them, so it will be interesting. But anyway, guys, that is it for this video. I keep saying video. I'm so used to saying video. That's it for this podcast. If you guys enjoyed, why don't you give it a like? Check out some of the other videos we have posted on the channel, and you could watch the other episodes of the podcast as well. We got a whole bunch of stuff that comes out every week. I got my new comic book day hauls on every Wednesday. I got my comic book reviews every weekend. Like during the weekend, I have the reviews. Most likely Saturdays. I don't usually do them Sundays, but if I just say during the weekend because in case I can't post it on Saturday. But what else? Oh yeah, and then like I said, the thing that you're listening to right now, the Superhero Crew podcast, and that's every Monday. So stay tuned. We have a whole slew of videos that come out every week. Stay tuned, subscribe, and that's pretty much it, guys. So we will see you in the next one.
Bye bye.